One of the worst-kept secrets in the NBA is about to be disclosed, as Carmelo Anthony will finally join the Houston Rockets. That the 34-year-old sojourn in Oklahoma would come to an end after just one season became apparent earlier this month when the Thunder granted him permission to speak with prospective teams ahead of his impending departure. Last week, the Thunder agreed to send Anthony, Justin Anderson and a lottery-protected 2022 first-round pick to the Atlanta Hawks, in exchange for Dennis Schroeder. Both Anthony and Anderson's stay in Atlanta would be very short, with the former getting bought out, and receiving his full $27.9 million salary for the upcoming season, to enter unrestricted free agency. Anderson, meanwhile, will join the Sixers, with Mike Muscala going to the Hawks and Timothy Luwawu-Cabarrot heading from the Sixers to the Thunder. Carmelo Anthony, the 10-time All-Star, is set to sign for the Houston Rockets. Gene Sweeney Jr., Getty Images. On Monday, the New York Times' Mark Stein confirmed Anthony will be free to sign for the Rockets once he clears waivers. The 10-time All-Star will reportedly sign a one-year deal at the $2.4 million veteran minimum, on top of the entire salary that will be paid to him by the Atlanta Hawks as part of a complex three-team trade. See all of the best photos of the week in these slideshows. In Houston, Melo will be reunited with Mike D'Antoni, with whom he did not exactly see eye to eye during his time in New York City. However, league sources cited by ESPN earlier this month suggested D'Antoni has made clear to Anthony the circumstances would be very different in Texas, and that he would relish the opportunity of coaching him again. Out of all the teams he reportedly spoke to, the Rockets offer Anthony the best shot of winning that elusive ring he has chased throughout his career, but there are some drawbacks. Last season, Melo complained about not seeing enough of the ball as the Thunder's offense revolved around Russell Westbrook. That's unlikely to change in Houston, with Chris Paul and James Harden on the roster. Furthermore, last season Anthony made it clear he would not come off the bench for the Thunder, leaving few doubts over whether he was happy to sacrifice himself for the greater good. At least, his reluctance to be omitted from the starting lineup has led him to notch an impressive milestone. According to Basketball Reference, the former Syracuse student is the only player to have played at least 1,000 games since the 1981-82 season without ever coming off the bench. Anthony has been a starter in all the 1,054 games he has played since he was drafted as the third overall pick of the 2003 draft by the Denver Nuggets. Houston just lost Trevor Ariza and Luke Mbah in free agency, so Melo might not necessarily find himself on the bench in Texas and could thrive in the Rockets' offense. Anthony hit a career-high 169 three-pointers last year, while Houston led the charts in attempt from 3 points and in the number of three-point field goals made with 42.3 and 15.3 per game respectively. Last week, the Thunder agreed to send Anthony, Justin Anderson and a lottery-protected 2022 first-round pick to the Atlanta Hawks, in exchange for Dennis Schroeder. Both Anthony and Anderson's stay in Atlanta would be very short, with the former getting bought out, and receiving his full $27.9 million salary for the upcoming season, to enter unrestricted free agency. Anderson, meanwhile, will join the Sixers, with Mike Muscala going to the Hawks and Timothy Luwawu-Cabarrot heading from the Sixers to the Thunder. While Atlanta's decision to take on such a heavy contract initially raised eyebrows, it was a rather logical decision for a team still looking to rebuild. By sending Schroeder to Oklahoma, the Hawks have shed the $46.5 million in guaranteed money they owed him through the 2020-21 season, and once Anthony's deal expires this summer, they will have approximately $50 million in cap space next summer. Additionally, the trade also gives the Hawks another first-round pick on top of the top 5 protected first-round pick for next year they received from Dallas in the deal that took Luka Doncic to the Mavericks on draft night.